On September 15th, 2015, Toby Fox released the indie game Undertale, and the online landscape was forever changed. The game had been heavily anticipated ever since its Kickstarter campaign exploded in popularity, and it did not disappoint. It captured the hearts of millions with its incredible soundtrack, unique characters, and themes of redemption. It spawned a vibrant community of theorists and fan creators, making content that passionately elaborated on the source material. It wasn't just a game, it was an experience that invited players to shape the story through their choices. Fast forward to 2018, while the initial extreme blow-up of Undertale had faded, and there was little left to be explored. While the community was, and is, still vibrant, the speculative theories on the game's canon had largely faded. That's not to say that no one was making fanworks, but that the speculation on the game's hidden lore and secrets had, for the most part, noticeably quieted. That is, until Deltarune was released. Everyone knew where they were when Toby Fox started posting on Twitter about Deltarune's release. He wrote in the voice of an enigmatic character that has been the focus of most Undertale theories, W.D. Gaster. Debatedly, he doesn't appear directly in the main game, but in the code and hidden chance encounters. I will be linking some Undertale and Deltarune explanations on Gaster for anyone that is curious. Since this character was a critical part of many Undertale theories, the community had an explosion of immediate curiosity in the meta-narrative of the download link Toby posted. With the first chapter of the game being released for free, with many more parts of the game promised, it was, and still is, prime fodder for fan theorizing. By the time the second chapter out of 7 came out in 2022, every bit of lore and information had been analyzed and dissected. YouTube videos by well-known creators have been renowned for speaking about canon evidence to support their own solid, tangible predictions. Of course, not all predictions are seen as equal. Some, labeled as crackpot theories, push the boundaries of canon, blending creativity with absurdity. Yet, these theories are not without value. They reflect the community's desire to engage, interpret, and reshape the story on their own terms. I posit that interpretations of a fictional canon, like Deltarune, are both individual and communal within fandoms. As a result, fan theorizing often produces mutually exclusive concepts and ideas that gain traction in different sections of the fandom. But before we dive in, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Sunny Dionysus. I'm an artist, a video essayist, and, most of all, an annoyance. I'm fascinated by our digital age and how fandoms shape and reshape the stories they love. If that sounds appealing, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Undertale is a pixelated role-playing game that redefined how storytelling and player agency interact. It's a game with multiple endings, all determined by the choices you make within the story. If you decide to kill even one monster, you'll get a very different ending than if you choose to spare them all. The player's choices aren't just narrative branches. They are central to the moral and emotional core of the game. This emphasis on player agency opens the game up to a variety of interpretations. It encourages the viewer to have their own takeaway from the game. This unique approach to storytelling has made Undertale a landmark in gaming, celebrated for how it challenges traditional player roles. This emphasis on choice and player involvement makes Undertale a game where the line between canon and interpretation is blurred. And that brings prime fodder for theorizing. The game also has many hidden unexplained mysteries, such as the whereabouts of Gaster, and that continually provided more focus onto the mystique of the game for years. While there are some undeniable facts about canon, there is also much strife about the details of the game. This tension between fact and interpretation is not unique to Undertale. As Mafalda Stasi notes, far from being a fixed and unproblematically shared set of references, canon is based on a collective interpretive process. It is possible to outline a continuum going from quite basic, hard to dispute facts, such as the occupations of the main characters, to highly debatable points of characterization. Take, for instance, the infamous Woody theory, which suggests that Toby Fox had revealed that a cowboy section will be included in Deltarune, and that Woody from Toy Story will be the secret boss of the chapter. While it may seem absurd at first glance, its creativity showcases how fans engage with the source material in unexpected ways, adding humor and life to the community. Crackpot theories like these demonstrate that theorizing isn't just about finding the truth. It's about having fun and deepening emotional connections to the media. This interpretive process, where even crackpot theories find a place, demonstrates how fandoms breathe life into stories, creating spaces where canon is never truly fixed, but always evolving. For example, a person that has not engaged in online Deltarune spaces, where Gaster's involvement is meticulously theorized, will experience a very different version of canon compared to an active online theorist. Neither interpretation is wrong, and doubt can be cast on an individual who positions themselves as the only correct perspective. Consider another crackpot theory. Some fans speculate that Sans and Papyrus are two halves of Gaster that got separated in a freak accident. While this idea is debated, it exemplifies how fans use small details, like Sans's own weapons that are called Gaster Blasters, to weave elaborate narratives, creating new layers of engagement with the game. Platforms like Reddit and YouTube are integral to theorizing communities. Subreddits like Our Undertale provide spaces where fans share, debate, and build upon each other's theories. However, these spaces also illustrate the tension between individual creativity and collective consensus. While some fans advocate for wildly original ideas, others push for a stricter adherence to perceived canon. Often, fans can treat canon as if it is unmovable, as though everyone interprets the same facts in the same way. That is not exactly the case, making canon movable and bendable towards the individual viewer. The inclusion of fanon is especially true for Deltarune, which is currently an incomplete story. Fan studies support this, with Leslie Goodman writing, "Because a finite text is always necessarily incomplete, it is a standard part of any normative reading practice to imaginatively supply necessary information to contribute to the formation of a fictional universe that is created by the text." In other words, supplying information to supplement a canon is very common within these spaces, and sometimes is necessary depending on the original media. Goodman's observation about the necessity of supplying information perfectly aligns with this theory. In the absence of concrete answers, fans fill in the gaps, often with wildly creative, and sometimes absurd, ideas. This process highlights the collaborative nature of fandoms, as they collectively imagine a rich universe. As Toby Fox releases more chapters of Deltarune, it will be fascinating to see how crackpot theories evolve, or whether they disappear entirely as canon becomes more defined. In the meantime, these theories play a vital role in keeping the fandom active and connected during the long wait. In conclusion, all theories within the Deltarune canon are built upon a shared scaffolding of ideas and predictions. While this often leads to mutually exclusive interpretations gaining traction in different parts of the fandom, I believe that is precisely where the beauty of fandom lies, in its ability to embrace contradiction, creativity, and collaboration to breathe life into the stories we love. This process is not unique to Deltarune. Across all fandoms, theorizing reflects how digital spaces have transformed storytelling into a collaborative experience. By embracing contradiction, creativity, and humor, fandoms ensure that the stories they love remain alive, evolving, and deeply meaningful. What do you think about these theories? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Signing off, Sunny.